Stay tuned for Retire Your Way with Dale Soutas, a leading financial retirement strategist and the founder of Soutas Financial and Insurance Solutions, right here in Fresno. Every week, Dale discusses pressing financial topics of the week, ranging from reliable income strategies to our financial markets, including Social Security, tax strategies, wealth management, RMDs, legacy planning, long-term care solutions, and most importantly, how to make sure you have enough guaranteed lifetime income to retire your way with choice and dignity. From taxes to trends to total transparency, Dale covers it all. And now, here is Retire Your Way and Dale Soutas. This is Retire Your Way with financial advisor Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial right here in California. On today's program, one of the largest big box firms is talking about putting a pension-like plan inside their 401k offerings. We're going to talk about some of the details, some of the costs, some of the possibilities, and some of the limitations of doing something like that. Plus, folks who have come in, their questions. We've got folks who've been coming in. Boy, this is almost their third time and kind of seeing what we've set up. I want to know how many times Dale has had to swipe their credit card for coming in and having these conversations, and resource as well for you to just very simply write in your questions to us. All that more on today's program. Mr. Dale Soutas, this would be your opening bell. How are you doing this week, my man?
Oh, my.
Yeah.
I'm doing great.
You. Well, I wanted to make sure you were.
Or how about say... or say unbelievable, because that can mean, hey, I'm doing great, unbelievably great, or it could mean, oh, unbelievably terrible, right? So I'm doing unbelievable.
Potato.
But I'm doing great. It's great.
All depends on the way you look at it.
We are having fun.
We are having fun. So we've got this a Wall Street Journal report about putting retirement accounts in the same kind of light as trying to turn it into a pension plan like our parents and grandparents did. So we've got some very interesting information on that. I wouldn't look for these, certainly from this platform, until at least 2027, but it is an interesting conversation to have. Before we get there, right. I always like how you help people out. You had, I think it was a couple from Kingsburg, hearing us all the way out there, who has come in. Was this their first time?
No, actually, I think it's at least a third, if not fourth. But I'm pretty sure it's a third time. And yeah, it's nice. They're a younger couple. They're looking at some changes coming up next year with possibly retiring and how to deal with some accounts and where to put them, how to make sure they can keep going, growing, how to position or how to deal with some extra income that they're set to get as well. So it's fun, and I enjoy this couple. They know who they are. I'll say hi to them again.
Hello, Kingsburg couple.
It's wonderful. Yes. All you Kingsburg people. Beautiful town there. So yeah, people come in, and I think, I like it when they can come in person, face to face, sit down, we can go over things. Yet don't let that hold you back if you're out in the boonies. I've had people from as far away as, Santa Cruz, Salinas, Modesto, Bakersfield, all over. We can always have a telephone conversation or even use Zoom if you want to be scared by my face. I mean, to see me. So, it's nice to be able to work with people, find out what they're all about, where they want to be in retirement, how they want to have their income keep going and growing, and we like the challenge. It's fun figuring out those prospects for them.
Why
how to set things up?
3 appointments? What's going on? So this isn't just a kind of one and done and show somebody a tool and say here's what it costs. What have 3 appointments been about?
No, okay, good question. So when a person first comes in to see us, when they have their first appointment, we call that a discovery visit. So we're just trying to get acquainted. What are you about? The most important thing is if you're already retired or about to retire or down the road a ways, what do you want retirement to be like? What do you want to do? What's your priorities? Some it's travel, some it's gardening, some it's a combination of many things. Get a RV, get a fifth wheel and travel the country. Various things, right? Then we get acquainted with their income, assets currently, and or projected income. And even on that, we don't get overly personal. We just want to know, get us in the ballpark. Approximately what do you have in these various ways of, what type of income, Social Security, pensions, rental incomes, what kind of, properties, what are your assets basically, so we can see. And then we start dialing in based on, then from there, we'll actually give people a little bit of homework, like, what do you need to pay the bills ongoing? What do you need to do those fun things, when you retire? So we're going to break it down on their second visit to give them a rough draft of a retirement income plan. And I only say rough draft because it might be spot on, but it might be that we might say, or they may say, well, what if we do this, or what if we do that? Once we get their basic info into the planning software, we can start tweaking it together and say, okay, well, and I've had many people, even this year alone, several who they say, yeah, I think I have to work for another 2-3 years, but I'd really like to stop working this year or sooner. And so we put in, okay, 2-3 years. Yeah, things will work out. But now let's change it. Let's make, copy that plan, separate it out, and put their goal for let's say the end of this year, and structure things. And it's really nice to be able to show them you can retire sooner. You can retire at the end of this year. So in other words, we can tweak the plan once we get the basic info on what you need, what you have, where you want to go. Then we can start, dialing in with that plan. We can adjust it. We can tweak it. We can have fun, playing different scenarios. So, and if it makes sense, and if there's things that we need to do to help you reach those goals, we'll explain what types of, financial tools are needed. If you're on track, we're going to pat you on the back and say, keep doing that, to stop worrying about your retirement, get on with what you want to do. But we're also going to look at the whole enchilada. Like, people they might be coming in for one topic, one focus. And like I just had somebody recently, they came in, about their retirement down the road. They're still working and they're still saving. How do we save better? Okay, we talked about that. But then I find out that mom lives with them, and they're caring for mom as well as trying to, manage their own lives and everything. So then that brings up the subject of, well, how do we activate possibly programs that can get money to help pay for care for mom, take some of the load off of them if needed, or at least help them to have some extra income to be able to, really take care of mom properly at home. So there's a lot of times those situations come up too, where people, again, we're looking at the whole picture with our families, and what are the ways we can help you? And it might be just if you didn't know about certain programs that your loved ones can use. Maybe ones are taking a break from their career because they're going back and forth taking care of a parent at, their home, and they can't really maintain their job or their career while they're taking care of a loved one. Well, again, what are programs that can help with that situation and or pay you to be able to take care of?
You've also said to me one time, and maybe you just kind of explain in general, that different counties or even different areas have different programs, that it's not all the same. It even depends on like where you live. It's not all uniform
to some degree,
for California?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some degree, but the main benefit, there's a long-term care Medi-Cal program, different than typically the welfare Medi-Cal program, different rules, different funding, different asset limits. It used to be you had to be down to 2,000 or less, but a loved one who needs care because of age, blindness, disability, there's programs that they can have on top of their home, their most expensive vehicle, retirement accounts like IRAs, 401ks, and such. They can have an additional $130,000. If they're married, they can have, don't quote me, the well spouse can have another roughly $150,000, I believe, on top of that. So they can have quite a bit of assets and still get that one loved one help if they need care. So, and even if they're over the limit, we've been known since 1997, helping families protect that excess and get on the programs without spending it all down, as you hear, without losing it back to the state, even if they die down the road. So there's a lot of programs, or a lot of coaching and help, hand-holding through that process that we provide for people to know, those programs. But there are certain programs for assisted living that some counties do and some counties don't use. But for the most part, we can still activate programs. And there's also a VA program for veterans or a widow of a veteran to access tax-free money. Their rules with the VA is a little more restrictive than the Medi-Cal, but that's okay. When it fits, and we can help.
Yeah. And we want to find out, what exactly are you looking for? You might not realize that you can get assistance from your county or state depending on the situation. You don't have to completely be rid of all assets, but it is definitely worth having a conversation. Wonderful, wonderful that these people are taking care of one of their parents at home, but maybe we can get a little bit of help, either financial help, somebody coming by the home, anything along the way can help, because it is wonderful and loving, but it can be a lot of energy and resources to take care of our loved ones later in life. Call the phone number. Let us help you start that conversation. It is no cost to you. As our couple from Kingsburg has come in 2-3 times, there's no cost to come on in and have a conversation. 833-856-1382 is the phone number. Let's get you started on your complete portfolio review, your written plan for retirement. No cost to you. 833-856-1382 is that phone number. More with Dale Soutas and Retire Your Way right after this.
Will you outlive your money? It's a scary thought, but it's a real concern for many people. In our opinion, that's why it's crucial to have a solid retirement plan in place. We believe that with proper planning, you can work towards making your money last as long as you do. Don't wait until it's too late to start thinking about your financial future. Call Dale Soutas and the team at Soutas Financial today to learn how we can help you create a retirement plan that can potentially help you obtain peace of mind and security for years to come. Don't let the fear of running out of money in retirement keep you up at night. Take control of your financial future today. Start your Retire Your Way review and financial plan by calling 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
Welcome back to Retire Your Way with Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial. Again, there's no cost to come in. There's no cost to have a conversation with Dale. And we've got some other resources as well. Hey, live events. I know that you did one recently. We'll have another one coming up. Have you been getting great questions from that? What kinds of stuff? Again, I always like to ask, what are people asking you today? Did everybody ask you, about SpaceX? And did you get it? Because you are the you are the rocket man. You are the rocket man yourself.
Right. Yeah, just because I do those high-powered rockets out in Helm, out by Carruthers. Yeah, I only do those like once or twice a year. But anyway, no, I don't get questions on SpaceX. But I think this next time we'll do the same. It was very popular this last time. The topic was estate planning, and that's what's coming up next month. But we try to vary the topics and from month to month, so you can look for that. And we have them at Fresno State. Take about an hour. Sometimes if I talk too long, it's an hour 10 minutes. But what's nice is people can come in and get some basic answers. More of an overview on, in this case, estate planning and what that means. How do you protect assets to go where you want them to go, or be dealt with the way you want them to be dealt with? Financial powers of attorney, healthcare directives, living trusts. How do those all fit into your estate plan? People don't realize that having a will does not cut it for real estate, particularly. So if you die and you have real estate, even though you listed in this piece of paper, I want my house to go to these kids or my friends or whatever, it won't happen. It'll go to probate, and it might take a couple years or more. and tens of thousands of dollars to get it through that public process. Anybody can go to that county recorder's office and get a copy of your probate, and which shows basically what assets you have that are being probated. And so it's like putting your assets out on a laundry line for everybody, all your neighbors to see. And then people can walk in and say, hey, they owed me money. Now it takes longer. It costs more to get through the process. It's a game some people play. So how to protect your assets to go where you want them to go should you die, that's easy. And it doesn't have to be expensive. There are ones who charge quite a bit, but there are others who don't charge very much and have very good wording in their legal documents. So but it's important. And if you're 18 and above, I might ask you, Spike, why would it be important for somebody who's 18 and above to at least have a financial power of attorney and a healthcare directive?
Oh gosh.
Good question.
Even
if they don't own real estate, they're 18.
I understand. I believe I know the quarter you're heading me down. And folks, by the way, this is not scripted. He was trying to throw me a curveball.
I know,
but I do think I think that even as an 18-year-old, you are now independent, and even if you're on your parents' insurance and you're paying for college for your kids, do you necessarily get all of the full rights to be able to make medical decisions for your child?
Right. So the healthcare directive, in case, when they're minors, the parents are
minors,
or guardians are looking after them, making medical decisions. But if you're 18 and above and you get knocked out and you're at the hospital, who are you authorizing to pull the plug? To make medical decisions for you?
I would have assumed, like most people out there, that's still the parents, right? But
you would think, but technically, okay, it's smart to have that document just to ensure your wishes are being upheld and you have somebody that you trust,
who else is it going to be? Their best buddy,
look after
Sparky? Who gets to make the? Isn't the doctor? Yeah, isn't the doctor going to reasonably say who is the next of kin?
They probably would, but again, you got HIPAA laws, which may or may not allow, which typically do not allow them to tell you really what's going on medically for that person, because they have not authorized you to get the info on what they're dealing with. But on the money side, even if you're 18 and maybe you only have a little bank account or whatever, but again, how to deal with that. More importantly, if you become disabled or you have other difficulties, how to deal with government agencies, maybe to get on programs to care, that provide money, provide care. But it's just smart. Those are documents you should have. But really, it's shocking to see how many people who are older, they own real estate, they have a home, maybe they have multiple properties, but they don't have a living trust. And maybe they're confused. Maybe they are on a second marriage and they both have different assets. He has property, she has property. They want their properties to go to their own children, not be, divided amongst all the kids. So there's easy ways to deal with that too. So it's just, we like to help people with a checklist to coach them how to be prepared to see an attorney, make it easy on you. So when you do talk to the attorney, you're not saying, I don't know, or what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And shooting the bill up. We coach you how to be prepared. So when you see the attorney, you're concise, to the point. The attorney can get things set up properly for you. That's just one aspect of the whole enchilada that we look at for families. It's not just about money. It could be about how to make sure things pass along or dealt with properly down the road, how to cover care, many things like that. So, but these are different topics, and how to deal with taxes. We're at a lower tax rate right now, tax brackets, but that won't be the same probably 5, 10, especially 20 years from now. So how do we deal with taxes in the future? Are we ourselves saving or doing things most tax efficiently Are we finding ways to not just reduce taxes today, but more importantly, how do we reduce our taxes in the future when tax rates will be much higher? These are a variety of topics that we help ones with. And you don't have to wait for a workshop to come and get some basics. You can schedule time to come in, and we
Well, you can schedule time to come in. We've also got a resource for you. We used to say it all the time, but of course, the website is soutas.com, soutas.com. You can write us, though, directly. If you don't feel like picking up the phone yet, if you don't have time to come to one of the live events, just write us. Write us what your question is. Let Dale do the homework for you, okay? Write us at info, the @ symbol, soutas.com. So info@soutas.com, info@ SOUTAS.com. Say, radio listener in the subject line if you want to. Got a question for you, something like that. Ask about Social Security, estate planning. How do you create income? Now, of course, each one of these answers is going to be specific to your situation. So the more that you can share about what you're trying to find out, the better we can help. Sometimes Dale's going to need a lot more information, but if you just want to get kicked off, like, is it too late for me to start retirement planning? Or, can you tell me a little bit more about what plans, how do I get some home care for my parents? I live out in Modesto or whatever, wherever. Write your question to Dale, right? Do you mind doing some homework for him?
No, and really, I'd like to challenge you guys listening. Some of you listen all the time. Thank you. Some of you are just now hearing, you're traveling, you're going to the store, you're going whatever, and you hear this. I do challenge you. Just if you have a topic, a question, a concern, feel free to shoot us an email. Like I said, info@soutas.com. But the point of that isn't to flood you with advertising or anything. We're not going to bug you. It's just if you have a question or you'd like us to talk about a specific subject or topic on upcoming shows, shoot a note to us. Hey, I'm getting tired of hearing you talk about this, rockets or whatever. Can you talk more about or explain more about this or that or the other? So, many people don't know how to even get Uncle Sam out of their retirement, like we talk about, how to reduce their future taxes, how to do Roth conversions. What are the rules? Can you, how often can you do those? And sometimes people even think you're limited to $7,000 or $8,000 a year that you can convert to Roth. No, that's typical limitation on what your income you could put, what of your income you could put into a Roth. But in other words, feel free, challenge us, put me to the test. If you stump me, I like that. I have one right now. I stumped my own CPA a little bit, so I'm going to go beyond him to another resource that I have that are 25, 30-year veterans in the tax planning strategies. So we have resources to pull from. I like it when people stump me because then I get to learn something new. So feel free to do that.
And as we said, the number I'll give you here in a second. The email address, info@soutas.com, info@ SOUTAS.com. Go to the website. Go to Dale's website, soutas.com. And then once you send in your question for us, if you want to schedule a time for your own follow-up in person or over the phone, call the phone number. 833-856-1382. There are folks who are standing by right now. You're not going to interrupt the program. That's going to go over to our call center. 833-856-1382. More with Dale Soutas right after this.
Are you worried that you waited too late to start your retirement planning? That you waited too late to start saving? At Soutas Financial, we believe it's never too late to start planning for your future. We can help you develop a personalized retirement plan that is tailored to your current needs and goals. The team at Soutas Financial will sit down with you and provide an evaluation of your current path, including your investment strategy, tax planning, and risk management approach. We'll help you identify potential areas for improvement and work with you to create create a retirement plan that is designed to help you work towards having financial security and peace of mind in retirement. It's not too late for you to get started with Soutas Financial. Call us today to schedule your complimentary retirement planning session. We believe we can help you get on the path to financial security and peace of mind in retirement. Call Dale Soutas and the team at Soutas Financial to get started on your own complimentary written financial plan. Call 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
Stock market losses have you worried? Claim your free portfolio risk report and protection review from financial advisor Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial right now. Call 833-856-1382. If the recent market volatility has you worried about your retirement investments, you're not alone. Right now is the time to take action to protect your investments. Surely markets do not always rise, but if you're in your 50s, 60s, or 70s, you don't have the same time to make up for portfolio losses as you did in your 30s and 40s. Claim your portfolio risk review from Soutas Financial today. Call 833-856-1382 or go to Soutas.com. Your portfolio risk review will provide action steps of what you could do to protect your wealth from current market swings. Get your free portfolio risk review right now. Call Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial at 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382 or Soutas.com. That's SOUTAS.com.
This is Retire Your Way with Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial today, talking about how you help folks all across the great state of California try to be and stay retired. You know, there has been legislation that sometimes tries to help us out. It seems like this legislation, the reason I'm pausing is because it tends to go back and forth. Some more recently have talked about private equity and giving us access to things that, maybe some more savvy or accredited investors have access to, but that can be risky. Wall Street Journal article recently reported how Fidelity, the second largest provider of target date funds in the country that go inside our 401ks, is planning to offer lifetime income annuities inside its 401k target date funds. Sounds like a turducken. Sounds like a chicken inside a turkey inside a. It's like, wait a second.
Yeah.
First of all, in general, what's going on? How do you feel?
Well, okay, the CARE Act of 2020, they did mandate that we should start, or companies should be offering inside 401ks, 403bs, TSPs, all that. They should be including options for people to put money into annuities. Now, very technically, a 403b or a TSA, tax-sheltered annuity, is already an annuity. Why are they encouraging annuities inside these retirement funds? Well, what's the only financial tool that can give you lifetime income? It's an annuity. I love it when people say, in fact, somebody recently came in with a loved one and helping them, and he said, well, I don't really want any of her money to go into an annuity. Well, we don't balk at that. We just, okay. But the funny thing is, like I had one lady say the same thing, that my dad doesn't like annuities. I don't like annuities. And that was the only reason. So, but the annuity being able to give her additional lifetime income, like a private pension on top of her already Social Security and her small pension, solidified her income plan. It made it to where, she'd be able to keep going. And her money would last her lifetime, even using just a little bit of her retirement savings, not all of it. And so when she said, was that an annuity? I said, yes. The point was, I said, okay. She said, well, I don't like annuities. I said, okay. So write down this phone number, 1-800-877-1213. When you get home, call them. And who's that? She said. I said, well, that's Social Security. Call them and let them know you don't like annuities. Stop paying me that monthly check. Because that's what it is. Social Security is a guaranteed lifetime annuity. And I said, find out call your pension company and let them know you don't like annuities. Stop sending you that monthly check because you don't like annuities. So people don't understand. There's a lot of negativity about annuities because typically an advisor wants to make money, right? And they make money by putting money under management, and they get that fee ongoing. When they use an annuity, it's kind of like car auto insurance. The agent gets a commission. So when they set up a one-time payment into an annuity or life insurance, typically they get a commission, that's it. But you're still their client. They need to take care of you, but they don't have any ongoing money. So don't take me wrong. There's nothing wrong with managing money. But if ones are not motivated for your long-term income plan, but they're motivated more for, for me, it would be better to put all your money under management, and I get that little fee ongoing endlessly if I keep you happy. But I know sometimes your income needs a kick. It needs something to keep it going, keep it growing, so that you can keep and maintain your lifestyle. And so the only tool that will give you that is an annuity. That's why the government's saying that. But Wall Street's talking about starting next year, 2027, with these target funds, which brings up a whole nother question. Ask me about that in a minute.
Yeah. Well, okay, so the new target date series, so this is according to Fidelity, and this will be inside their 401k plans, their offerings, and they're one of the largest providers all around the country. It'll be called their Freedom Lifetime Series. Now, a target date fund automatically shifts our stocks towards bonds as we get closer towards retirement. Now, that's the actual function of it. The idea is to reduce risk, but that didn't happen in 2022 when interest rates went up and bonds got really, really crushed and our stock market panicked. So the target date fund isn't necessarily an automatic guarantee of safety or reducing risk because you have interest rate risk. Now we're going to put an annuity inside there, inside the target.
Put them inside the annuity. Yeah, is what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I see what you're saying. That because that's how they're phrasing it. They're like, the annuity will go inside this target date fund that you're funding inside there, and then I guess then you flip it. Then eventually the money that you're putting in the target date fund will become the annuity. Now you said 2027. Does this do much for somebody who's real close to retirement? Let's say in the next 2 or 3 years.
Good question. It's funny you said that because I just had a lady we talked to recently, and she's 79. She's, she wants to retire now. I mean, she's been working hard, and she's been enjoying her job.
She should,
yeah, exactly.
She should relax and retire.
I mean, there's more to it. I mean, she's a widow, and she wanted to keep working, and she liked what she was doing, but it's time, and she wants out now. It just, it's getting more complicated, and
a little bit harder.
The corporate mentality and stuff like that. So when I looked at what she has in her retirement account, it's a target date fund. But when I put in that target date fund and saw exactly how it's structured, it's for especially a 79-year-old, it's kind of a high level of risk still. So basically we look at many times people have these different strategies built into their 401ks, and they think they're taking low risk. It's conservative. And then when I plug in what they actually have and we analyze what their investments actually are, they're shocked, like I am, at how much risk they're taking. And especially if they're in or very close to retirement, that's no time to be gambling. You need to, definitely have systems to protect what you have, because if you're going to retire, you don't have a way to replace what you lose on the stock market as quick and easily, and it can take a long time to recover, if the market drops. So there's many things that we look at there. But the annuities have their place, but not everybody needs an annuity. And certainly if you have a variety of accounts and assets, you don't put all your money into annuities. But they have their place, especially if a person, needs some additional income that's guaranteed for their life or they and their spouse's lifetime, then, to make sure their income plan is solid, that could be a wonderful tool. There's a variety of tools out there. Just be careful. Don't just throw all your money into one of them.
I can get the why behind this. And, it's in a way exactly what companies did 50, 60, 70 years ago. Now, we're going to be careful with ERISA, and there's some differences and there's some protections, but the idea was that you would almost like your own Social Security in a way at a private workplace. You would work for somebody for 30 or 35 years. They'd calculate, what you did, and then they would give your calculations, your chunk of money, literally to an insurance company and turn it into an annuity, your lifetime payments.
Annuitize it, yeah.
Yeah, they would annuitize it. So it's offering this in a similar manner. I am curious about things like cost. What kinds of annuities are they going to put in there? You might do better doing it on your own, taking your own income. But is that a harder concept for people to understand? Like doing it on their own?
It doesn't have to be. I mean, I can help people understand. I've had many people from different companies, instead of taking the so-called pension, defined benefit plan through the company, taking that certain income. Like a few years ago, someone had a little over $200,000 in that plan, and it would have given her $1,100 a month income. Basically, she could be in control, have it grow. She didn't need the income right away, but it would produce higher income, increasing income, or maybe even just use a portion of it. So there's a variety of ways to look at all of this. The other thing I was thinking is, you've got people retiring and they want to know, well, what are those tools? How do you structure things to keep your money safe, protected, have the income you need? Yeah, it's just, there's a variety of tools you can use. It all depends on your goals, circumstances, what you've saved, the kind of money you saved. But we can get into more of the details on that as we get back.
Yeah, you know what? Let's have people get in touch with us right now. Again, you can write us if you just have a quick question saying, hey, how would I know if my retirement plan at work is going to be offering something like an annuity? Write us at info@soutas.com. Info, the @ symbol, SOUTAS.com. You can go to the website, schedule your own appointment there at SOUTAS.com, Soutas.com. Or you can call us right now and schedule your time. Bring in your statements, or bring your laptop if you want to, and we'll sign in. We'll take a look at it and see if we can help you with those elections in there. Call the phone number, schedule your time. It's free to come on in. 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382. More with Dale Soutas, your financial advisor, right here in California, right after this.
Do you know how much you might be paying in fees within your retirement accounts? Just 1 or 2% in hidden fees can eat into your savings and potentially hinder your ability to achieve your retirement goals. But how do you know if you're currently paying these hidden fees, and how do you find them? Dale Soutas and the team at Soutas Financial can help you find the fees within your investments and explore solutions designed to assist with minimizing them. Take control of your retirement savings so that you can work towards keeping more of your hard-earned money. Call for your very own complimentary Retire Your Way review and fee finder report. Let us help work towards finding, exposing, and helping to eliminate those potential hidden fees for you. Call Dale Soutas and Soutas Financial today for your complimentary fee review. 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
Welcome back to Retire Your Way with Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial. We're reading from a Wall Street Journal article saying that Fidelity, along with BlackRock, along with Vanguard, have been offering, since a legal ruling a few years ago, on offering annuities inside retirement plans. Now, it's taken a few years, and quite frankly, right now it's still, I believe, under 4% of 401k plans out there even offer some version of annuity. Do you, Dale, want to go back to the why? Why have companies
gotten away?
Exactly.
Think about it. Sometimes I point this out to people. Years ago, most companies, if you work there, you would get a pension when you retire, which is technically, the term is a defined benefit. In other words, defined income. You've been loyal to me for 10, 20, 30 years. We're going to give you this income for the rest of your life. It might be the rest of you and your spouse's life. Okay, but why are companies getting away from that and offering more like defined 401ks and such that are considered defined contribution plans? You can contribute up to certain levels and blah, blah, blah. Why do they do that? It's not hard to figure out. If I am your employee, so you listeners, you're the company. I'm working for you. And for some odd reason, you like me and you want me to stay working with you for a while. How much do you set aside for my future 20 years, 30 years from now? How much do you set aside? How much interest does it need to earn? How much volatility up and down on the stock market could it handle for you to guarantee me this certain income way down the road? That's not easy to figure out, and especially in this crazy world where things are going upside down, backwards, and sideways all the time. So companies, wisely are getting out of that and throwing the burden of your future retirement on your shoulders by saying, here's a 401k, here's a TSP, here's a 403b. You tell us how you want that, and with those up till recently, and still for the most part, you don't have a lot of different options on how you can invest that money that's inside your retirement plan. It was typically stocks, bonds, and cash. And people sometimes, oh no, I have mutual funds. But a mutual fund is just a combination of, a bunch of pieces of mutual funds are pieces of stock, a bunch of pieces of stock, or a bunch of pieces of bonds combined. Supposedly it's harder to break them. It's like holding one pencil, boom, you can snap it easy. But if you have 10 pencils, it's harder to just quickly snap them in two. Supposedly mutual funds are safer, but then they have the higher fees. But regardless of all that, it's the government's realizing, why are they encouraging annuities inside retirement plans? Because they designed annuities many decades ago. Annuities have to give you ability to turn that lump of money into income via, annuitization. In other words, you can turn it into income for so many years or lifetime, joint lifetime. There's many different ways you can structure that income from an annuity. And, that's the nice thing about having them. When you retire, that lump, if you have a company that offers you a pension, that lump of money that you and they have put into that account over the many years is annuitized for the rest of your life and or your spouse's. So when you start looking at CalPERS and STRS or a pension from whatever companies you're with, that's money that's been annuitized. So it's an annuity that gives you that income, ongoing. But people don't realize, okay, I've got this 500,000, I got $1 million, I got 100,000, whatever, in my retirement plan. And if you're 59 and a half or older, guess what? Most companies allow you to move some or even all of that out of the company sponsored plan into an individual retirement account that you can now structure with many different investment options and or use an annuity that can give you not only that lifetime income, but there's companies that offer increasing income. Now, that's a new feature. A lot of times when you would take a chunk of money and annuitize it for the rest of your life, it was level income for the rest of your life. There's some companies that now your income can increase throughout your lifetime or lifetimes if it's jointly structured. So there's some neat tools out there. But again, do you need that income, or will your Social Security be enough? Will rental income on top of Social Security, other sources of income? I'm not a fan of just, having this big lump of money and just pulling a little bit off monthly, regularly throughout retirement, because if it's on the market going up and down, that sequence of returns can wipe it out. So sometimes the annuity is a better tool for a little bit of your savings to give you that additional guaranteed lifetime income, so you take the pressure off of your other investments and you're not having to pull from them. They can grow. They can be available for other fun things, big trips, big remodels, a new vehicle. I'll give you ideas.
Yes. I'm sure.
Take me to dinner once a week.
Stop it. I'm sure people have great ideas of how they can spend their own money in retirement, but it's creating these tools along the way, and oftentimes there isn't a rule book. What I'm worried about is folks putting some of their investment savings into this target date fund that they can turn into an annuity, possibly starting in 2027, that has fees, that doesn't perform as well, and then maybe some of their money into other funds and letting those grow, not necessarily having a complete plan, but also being, those few years before retirement. Do you just keep doing the same thing and then show up at Dale's doorstep the week before you retire and go, how did I do? Or do you want to find out beforehand? When do you like to talk to folks about these? Is there anything you can do about these tools that while they're using them and while they're working, Dale?
It's a good point. So even the last few weeks, we've had people coming in, and I had 2 sets on the same day, and these couples were in their 30s, which I thought, well, this is kind of neat. And there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I'm going to show them how to invest, because they're not old enough, even if they have, and they do have some retirement accounts. They can't do what's called an in-service rollover, and that's okay. I don't care. But it was fun coaching them on what to do. Years ago, we used to put on regularly long-term care workshops to explain how some of the government programs worked, and people would come in. Very few needed the help right then. They weren't in what we call a crisis mode. Mom or dad or spouse wasn't in a nursing home. They just want to know, well, how do these things work? Do I need to go buy long-term care nursing home insurance? And if you're talking to us, you'll find we're not a big fan of that stuff. You pay forever. If you never use that insurance, it's money out the window. So there's better ways to, plan for care down the road than buying the insurance. In our opinions, we will show you options that you can either have your income grow to where it's more than enough, or have a system where you can turn on some extra income if and when you need it. But so people would come in that way. But likewise, you're thinking about retiring, kick the tires, come in, let us give you an example of where you're at. How do things work? I don't want people worried about, when they retire, is my money going to last? I mean, the number one reason it seems people come in when we ask them, I just want to make sure I'm on the right track. Mm-hmm. I want to make sure, hey, this is good. Sometimes one spouse is very confident. The other's like, are you sure? Well, let us help pat them on the back to say, yes, everything's going to be okay. We don't want you worrying about your money. We want you focused on more important things, your family, each other, the fun things you want to do throughout retirement. And it's no fun. People retire. And I've seen this too many times years ago. I mean, been doing this decades, but 20, 30 years ago, I had people come in saying that they want to do all these wonderful things when they retire. I want to, travel. I want to get a boat. I want to get an RV. I want to do all these things. And I have all these activities I love doing, golf. Now it's pickleball and who knows, right? And they retire, and we've dialed things in. And from year to year, I'm checking with them, and how's it going? Well, no, we didn't buy the boat. We didn't get the RV. We're not traveling. We're not doing all. Well, why not? Well, just in case. What do you mean, just in case? Well, just in case something happens. Like what? And, well, like medically. Well, they have medical insurance, right? And yeah, if you have Medicare supplement or whatever, you're not going to go broke for a medical bill, even if you're hospitalized. What they're talking about is, what if we need care? So they don't do anything. They let their money grow. They eventually died, and the money goes to kids. And what do the kids do? They buy the boat, the RV, they do all these. No, that's not the way I want my families to retire. Retire and do the things you want. There will be plenty left over if that's your goal for the kids too. But if it's not your goal, fine. We'll find a way for you to spend it all. But I don't want you worrying about your money. I want you focused on the more important things. That's how we look at helping people here.
And that's why it's called Retire Your Way, not retire your kids' way. Retire your way for you. Why don't you find out what a retirement plan, an income plan, a tax plan, an estate plan, a fund plan looks like for you? Call this phone number, schedule your time. There's no cost to sit down with Dale and his team, your financial advisor, right here in California. 833-856-1382 is the phone number. There's still going to be folks who are standing by. They will schedule that time for you. No cost to you. You don't need your purse. You don't need your credit card. You don't need your wallet. Just schedule your time. and come on in. 833-856-1382. Or if you want to, you can go to the website and schedule your own time there at Soutas.com. Soutas.com. For Dale Soutas, I'm Spike. This has been Retire Your Way. We'll be back again next week.
This is not endorsed or affiliated with the Social Security Administration or any U.S. government agency. A Roth conversion may not be suitable for your situation. The primary goal in converting retirement assets into a Roth IRA is to reduce the future tax liability on the distributions you take in retirement or on the distributions of your beneficiaries. The information provided is to help you determine whether or not a Roth IRA conversion may be appropriate for your particular circumstances. Please review your retirement savings, tax, and estate/legacy planning strategies with your legal/tax advisor to be sure a Roth IRA conversion fits into your planning strategies. This is not endorsed or affiliated with any federal Medicare program, nor any U.S. government agency. If applicable, we do not offer every plan available in your area, and contacting us will direct you to a licensed insurance agent. Any information we provide is limited to those plans we do offer in your area. Please contact Medicare.gov or 1-800-MEDICARE to get information on all of your options. Any comments regarding safe and secure investments and/or guaranteed income streams refer only to fixed insurance products overseen by state insurance regulators and not any investment advisory products. Rates and guarantees provided by insurance products and annuities are subject to the financial strength of the issuing insurance company, not guaranteed by any bank or the FDIC. As a valued radio listener of Retire Your Way, Dale and his entire team of retirement professionals invite you to schedule your very own complimentary retirement plan review session. 833-856-1382 is the number for you to call. If you don't have a retirement strategy mapped out that includes low-fee investment elections, tax minimization strategies, decumulation plans that will last as long as you need them to, then call for your very own retirement review session, complimentary for our valued radio listeners. Are you able to lower your taxes in retirement? Are you unclear about your Social Security, Medicare, investment fees and risk, or how to produce guaranteed lifetime income so your lifestyle and goals don't have to be changed with the ups and downs of the market or taxes? Call Dale Soutas with Soutas Financial and be confident you can retire your way. Schedule your own comprehensive and complimentary retirement review session. Don't just live in retirement, thrive. Call 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
Investment advisory services are offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, Foundations, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The content provided is intended for informational and educational purposes only. The views, statements, and opinions expressed herein are those of the individual speakers and not necessarily those of Foundations and its affiliates. The information contained herein does not constitute an offer to sell any securities or represent an express or implied opinion or endorsement of any specific investment opportunity, offering, or issuer. Any discussion of performance or returns is not indicative of future results. Any discussions of specific strategies are for informational purposes only and have been provided to help determine whether they may be appropriate for your specific situation. If applicable, the primary goal is converting retirement assets into a Roth IRA is to reduce the future tax liability on the distributions you take in retirement or on the distributions of your beneficiaries. Each individual investor's situation is different, and any ideas provided may not be appropriate for your particular circumstances. Comments regarding a particular client's experience may or may not be the same as another client's experience and is not an indication that any client or prospective client will experience the same or a higher level of future success or performance. Foundations only transacts business in those jurisdictions where it's properly registered or is excluded or exempted from registration requirements. Registration as an investment advisor is not an endorsement of the firm by securities regulators and does not mean the advisor has achieved a specific level of skill or ability. Nothing herein constitutes a recommendation that any security, portfolio, or securities or investment strategy is suitable for any specific person. No legal or tax advice is provided. Please review your retirement, tax, and estate legacy planning strategies with a legal tax professional before transacting or implementing any strategies discussed herein. Any comments regarding safe and secure investments and guaranteed income streams refer only to fixed insurance products. They do not in any way refer to investment advisory products. Rates and guarantees provided by insurance products and annuities are subject to the financial strength of the issuing insurance company, not guaranteed by any bank or the FDIC. This is not endorsed or affiliated with the Social Security Administration, any federal Medicare program, nor any U.S. government agency. If applicable, we do not offer every plan available in your area, and contacting us at the phone numbers provided herein will direct you to a licensed insurance agent. Any information we provide is limited to those plans we do offer in your area. Please contact Medicare.gov or 1-800-MEDICARE to get information on all your options. All rights reserved.